Tonetta Clay. I want to welcome y'all to this podcast episode and YouTube video. I guess I put it that way as well. Like I said, I hope that y'all doing fine. The title of this video or this podcast episode today is that I've been too serious. And I, like I said, I'll get into that in a moment. But like I said, definitely I want to say thank you all for being here. For those, this is your first time, your girl, the social worker coach. Like I said, I'm definitely trying to help people out there heal. I guess I put it that way through their creativity. I know how important it is for me and how important it has been in my entire life, actually. I didn't know it back then growing up as a kid. I had no idea what these words meant. But now I know what the words meant, and I have the words and the vocabulary to put behind what's been going on in my life. I guess I put it that way. So, like I said, definitely helping people heal through their creativity. And like I said, this episode is sponsored by the Social Worker Coach. And of course, there's always a link in the description. So make sure that y'all check it out and see what kind of resources, freebies. There's a free download for an ebook called "Where Are You?" that's on there that I want to make sure that I point out to y'all to pick up. I guess I put it that way. That ebook, like I said, is free for you to download. It's probably about 10 pages and about 15-minute read. And like I said, it will definitely help you figure out where you are in life so that you can know where you, of course, where you're trying to go to and make a plan for that. I guess I put it that way. So, like I said, definitely welcome to this episode. And let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Like I said, I've realized I've been way too doggone serious. Not just, I mean, just serious about life, serious about working, business, serious about family, serious about everything you can think of. My health, everything. And like I said, I know when I get way too serious or get that forces me to be stressed out. I guess I put it that way. It puts me into like an overstress mode, overwhelm mode, that kind of thing. And for the last maybe like the last week, this past week, the last 4 days, I don't remember having any kind of bad dreams at all, thankfully. But at least full 2 weeks before that, I know that I have. That was like the beginning of March. I know that I have been almost every night, waking me up in the middle of the night, can't sleep, bad dream, crazy stuff, people being shot, all this type of stuff going on. And I know that when I get like that, I know that back when I was in college, for the first time seeing a therapist, I was what, 19, 18, 19? Actually, I think I was 18 because I had just gotten to college maybe like a few months before I even got to like my, that through, before I even got through with the first semester. I was still having those bad dreams and waking up in the middle of the night and couldn't focus well. I mean, I could focus to a certain extent, but like I said, during the night by myself, I was just like, oh my God, I can't do this no more. So me and a friend of mine found out she's my cousin later on, different story. But like I said, walking around campus and I saw the sign that said, I think it says the Psychological Services Center. And so I, of course, went in there trying to figure out what it was, found out that they have counseling and that kind of thing. I had never been in counseling or therapy before. So I'm like, okay, I'll try this out and see what they work because these dreams were, like I said, getting too bad. And I had always had bad dreams like that since I was a little kid. And I know this because of all the environments I was in, I guess the traumatic environments I was in, and the trauma that I've had happen to me as well. And like I said, I know I've talked about that in other videos. I was sexually abused before I started the first grade. My parents, of course, my dad was very abusive towards my mom just about every single day. All the hits, all the slaps, all the screaming, all the howling, all the yelling, me trying to break things up at times, that's very traumatic. On top of that, they were using drugs, of course. What I remember the youngest was being some powdery stuff on this little metal, like a top to like a cookie canister or something. What I later found out was powder cocaine. I didn't know what it was. I just knew whatever it was. And whenever they did something with it or took it or however they took it, because I was still in grade school. But whenever they took it, it made them act funny, act strange. It was more arguing, that kind of thing going on as well. Fighting and that kind of thing too. Then it moved on to crack cocaine. And then, of course, my mom finally stopped when I was probably in early college, actually. And my dad ended up dying of a drug overdose when I was about 30, about 15, 16 years ago, from heroin, actually. And I've seen other things outside of my household, people being shot, police traumatizing people, shooting people as well, all these types of things going on. Gang violence, drug violence, people getting beat, all types of stuff. Like I said, I've seen all types of stuff growing up. I'm sure probably a lot worse than some, well, I can't say a lot worse because everybody takes trauma differently, but I know I've had a lot of traumatic experiences, like I said, that has definitely shaped and molded me. And I know that's where those bad dreams came from. I know that for a fact. And like I said, definitely just going to the therapist for the first time. I had to go through this whole battery of tests. I had never in my life, like I said, been to a therapist or anything like that. And it was actually a therapist in training. I never forget her. Her name was Linda. I have a card from her, shoot, somewhere. I think it's in my closet or in the storage, one of the two, that I kept after she, of course, moved out of state, that kind of thing. After about 3.5 years, of course, I was graduating. She was moving to go move to Florida, I believe it was. She sent me a card several months after the check on me and that kind of thing. She was awesome. And like I said, just going through that battery of tests, I was diagnosed, didn't know that I had any of these things. I had no idea what PTSD was. And she said I also had a little bit of paranoia. And she let me know, of course, as I was explaining my story, she was just blown away, like, what the hell, you still living, you still walking? Oh my God, this is an amazing story. And like I said, definitely, she and her supervisor were definitely very, very helpful to me. My dreams went away maybe like the first month and a half, 2 months almost, something like that. Within the first month or two at the most. The dreams were subsiding. I wasn't having all those bad dreams I was having. And like I said, they were just a blessing to me in my life. Like I said, my first time ever going. And it had, well, I tried to go a few other times to other people, just did not work out. I said, forget it. Maybe saw them one time or half a time. They were horrible therapists. I said, never again. So like I said, definitely. But like I said, that definitely helped me. And like I said, definitely, I know that, like I said, when I first started this episode, me starting to have bad dreams again this month, for at least two weeks straight, was letting me know that I was stressed out. And like I said, I just had started talking about trauma in the workplace, toxic employees, all these types of things, stress and burnout and all this type of stuff as well. And looking at all these symptoms and realizing, I guess, like I said, how I've been thinking, my mindset, what I've been going through, I'm like, well, damn, I'm burned out. Actually, I've been burned. I've been feeling as well for years. And like I said, this is something that I had to face. I guess I put it that way recently. And I'm like, okay, telling my partner the same thing as well. Like I told him, I'm stressed and burned out with just working, period. You know, I'm not going to quit my job. I still got bills to pay. I can't just do that. I don't have anybody else to, of course, lean back on. Of course, I have a partner. We're both in the same, of course, living here in Tucson, as the rent is not as cheap as it was in St. Louis. I guess I put it that way. It's over 1,200, over like $1,100 a month. And that's not even including utilities, other bills. So like I said, we definitely have to have a two-income household. However the income may look, if it's coming from business, job, whatever it's going to be. So I know I can't just up and quit my job and that kind of thing. And I have my own personal bills and appointments and different things that's going on too, car note and all this kind of stuff too. So like I said, definitely just letting him know that I was, of course, burned out and stressed out. And that's why, because he was asking, why am I having constantly waking up in the middle of the night, having bad dreams and can't get back to sleep? Because most nights I got, what, 3 4 hours of sleep. I was up for like most of the night until I got with the work in the morning. So like I said, I definitely realized as of today, well, as of yesterday, that I am taking things too seriously and that I need to let up on myself. I guess I put it that way. I know I'm speaking to myself, but I'm sure there's others out there who need to hear this as well. Because we all, if you're anything like me, I, of course, with all the chaos that was in my household, I pushed myself through everything. High school, grade school, middle school, high school, college, and even part of my master's program. I pushed myself through all those things. Straight A student, always made sure I had good grades. That's the only way that I saw was my outlet for living in the environments that I was in, was school. I saw people on the couple on the Cosby Show. One was a doctor, one was an attorney. They're making, not making, but I guess telling their kids, of course, college is your outway. You can create something better out of yourself and do something greater, whichever the case may be. So I'm like, okay, this is my outlet as well. So I made sure that my grades were always good. I made sure that I was always doing my homework. Nobody ever had to tell me to do anything. That homework was done once I got home. My grades, like I said, I had straight A's. I may have had a few B's all the way up through college, a few B's, that kind of thing. But for the most part, I was straight A student. But my mouth always got me in trouble. Because I was one, as you know, I talk and curse, but I'm not sure. I don't think I cursed in. I probably did curse in grade school. I don't know, but whatever it was, I didn't have good citizenship according to the teacher. Several teachers actually. I used to get in trouble all the time. Have to sit on the steps in the hallway. So I kept talking, wasn't raising my hand to I guess to answer questions. Wasn't respecting the teachers from what I've told. From what I was told and all these types of crazy things, but like I said, I just realized that they just couldn't handle the type of person that I was. And I was the first black kid out there in that school district actually. So these white teachers had no idea how to teach me and how to relate to me anyway. And that created another several different barriers. I guess I put it that way. But let me get back to the stories. I know I'm getting off topic, but like I said, definitely my mouth got me in trouble. But like I said, still, I was still doing what I was supposed to have been doing. My homework, making sure my papers were done, everything was always done. I knew that was my outlet. And like I said, just knowing that how I put myself to that high esteem and a perfection, you have to have this, you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm like that with every single thing. Even though I know there's no 100% perfection, we all know that. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. I know I do too. I failed many times. Recently failed. I guess I put it that way too. But like I said, definitely, I learned from all the mistakes I've been through. I don't care what it was. All the experiences, all the trauma, everything I've been through, I've learned from every single thing. There were several lessons in all those things. I didn't see them while they were going on, while I was young or while I was little or growing up, but I can look back in my life and see them now. That's the main thing. Because if I didn't, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be sitting up here talking to y'all either. Because I'll be blaming everybody else for my situation, which I have not done. Yes, my parents or whoever raised me was may have created some of the situations growing up, but I know as an adult, I have to fix these situations and be able to move forward with my life. And like I said, just over the past like a week or two, three maybe, like I said, realizing that I'm actually burned out in this field of social work. My attitude towards it has been like this for years actually. I always wanted to have my own business. I always wanted to have whatever I was trying to do to, of course, move forward and to, of course, be my replacement of my job. I guess I put it that way. I had my creativity to fall back on. When I first got my first apartment, of course, I was baking. I grew up, of course, helping my grandmother in the kitchen, with my great great grandma in the kitchen, stir up, I guess, like cause she made homemade breakfasts every morning with homemade pancake mixes and all this type of stuff. Then when it came lunchtime for dinner, I was helping her like with the homemade Johnny cakes or cornbread, whatever, whichever word you want to use, you and whichever word that you're used to. But like I said, I helped stir up the stuff and put in the flour. Then at some point, I got a chance to like crack the eggs, and even though I kept putting shells and I had to get them out, that kind of thing. But I've always loved being in the kitchen and making and creating things. I couldn't fully do that until I was on my own, of course. Had my own kitchen. Of course, with my parents, I did a few things like making excuse me, like pancake mixes sometimes, or goodness gracious, or making an omelet or that kind of thing. Whenever we did have food, like I said, definitely I would just I love doing something in the kitchen. And like I said, over the years, once I got my first apartment at age 19, I started making cakes and peach cobblers and cupcakes and teach. I actually went to cake decorating school. I went to three different classes and mastered those and that kind of thing. How to put the fondant on, do the wedding cakes and all this type of stuff. But like I said, that was my favorite creativity. It still is. I still have a small baking business here in Tucson. It's going to be big, I'm sure, one day, but it's called Cookies and Ish. Just in case y'all live in Tucson, Arizona, or the surrounding areas, you're interested in buying some cookies or some sweets, let your girl know, or catering your event, please let your girl know. Just reach out. You can just message me. Either one is fine. Message, comment, that kind of thing, and let me know what you need. But like I said, definitely that's something that I've always loved to do. And I know that through all the creativity and that kind of thing that I've had, it's not just the baking, but I've always loved to write. I'm still a damn good writer actually. Used to write research papers, 20, 30 pages when I was back in like freshman year of college. They're like, what are you doing? We can't read all this. And they told me next time I write a paper more than the pages that they asked for, they're gonna flunk me. I guess like that grade was gonna be an F. So I had to start writing the 5 or 6 page papers, that kind of thing. But like I said, I love to research, I love to write, I love to bring my thoughts together on paper. I've always loved that. And that's where my love of journaling came. Here's the journal I have now. I was writing in earlier about this same thing, about how stressed and how burned out I've realized that I am, and that I need to do something different. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, definitely just realizing that the creativity I have more creativity than that, but like, because I made all types of stuff online and did videos and stuff, or you probably will see it here, but not you on the podcast, but on YouTube and other places on Facebook, or you'll see all that type of stuff too. But like I said, just realizing that my creativity has always helped me heal throughout the years and be able to move forward and process and think about stuff and figure out the lessons and the silver lining in those traumatic situations. Like I said, it's always been there. And like I said, definitely that's the arena that I know other people may need help with, I guess, trying to figure out their creativity, trying to figure out where they buried it at, I guess I put it that way. I had to, of course, bring it out. I know how to bring it out in myself. But like I said, sometimes I get doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, and I'm like, okay, I didn't even finish this project, that kind of thing. So I know I got to do one thing at a time, or at least make sure that the thing I'm focusing on is completely finished before I move on to the next. I guess I put it that way. Because I know in the past, like I said, I've started stuff. I got a book that I'm actually partially writing right now, almost to the end. And like I said, I've been writing that book for a few years. Picked it up, put it down, picked it up, put it down, letting other things get in the way. And I could have been done with this book probably in a few months. But like I said, that's one of my creative things I love to do as well. I've always written poetry, short stories. I love that type of stuff. Like I said, it's not just the baking, it's other things too. But like I said, definitely I know that with the creativity I have, I need to bring more of that to the forefront. Because like I said, I'm getting too serious with things. With life and business, work in general. I know I'm getting way too serious with things. And I'm not finding the fun in all the stuff like I used to. Some of it I still am, but not 100% like I used to. And like I said, I know all the overwhelm, the stress, and that kind of thing, creating the mindset of I can care less about this at work or this kind of thing. I'm going to stay under the radar, those types of things. And like I said, recently realized that that's not what I need to be doing. If I have a skill for something, I need to go ahead and do the skill, I guess, which I have been. But like I said, I just know that having my own is what I've always wanted, and I'm not going to be happy until I get there. I ain't gonna say I'm be happy because I'm already happy, but I'm not gonna be more fulfilled until I get there. I guess that's a better word. I'm already a happy person anyway. Most times, happy go lucky, all this kind of stuff. But like I said, I just know that I'm getting way too serious, and that I need to bring some more creativity into everything that I'm doing, or most things that I'm doing. Because like I said, I know there's other folks out there who've buried their creativity, who've let life, of course, take a hold of them. They've gotten too serious as well, stressed out, burned out, don't know what to do next, buried those childhood dreams and ambitions and imagination that they've had and their creativity that they had, and they need to bring that out of them. I guess I put it that way, in order for them to heal and to move forward through different things, especially when it comes to learning who you are and the relationships that you have with other people. And like I said, me just realizing this and realizing actually when I first started my coaching business, that's exactly what I was started the business to do. Talking about creativity and how it helped me heal so I can help others heal as well. Give others tips, tools, strategies, create courses, all those types of things about it. That's the reason why I actually started the coaching business to begin with, to help folks heal through their creativity. And somewhere along the lines, I got off of that. I guess I put it that way as well. But I'm heading back to that. Because like I said, I know how important it is to release and relieve your stress. I know how important it is to end the burnout stage so that you can move forward and figure out some ways to, of course, bring that happiness and bring that playfulness back into your life and unleash that creativity to the world. I'm sure the stuff that I have inside of me, I'm sure that, because of course, with my baking business, is definitely showing that people need what I have. And I love putting the smiles on their faces through my baking too. But like I said, I know that. Yeah, that's my alarm going off. My spaghetti squash is done, but I get it whenever I'm finished with this though. But like I said, definitely, I know that's something that, like I said, that's why I started my coaching business to begin with. And like I said, I've gotten way off the whole entire thing, did a whole flip backwards, I guess 360 backwards several times to different things. I know I love talking about different things. Like I said, I had to grasp a hold of myself as well. Because being a social worker for 23 plus years, I have a lot of different things that I know that's inside my head that I want to talk about and that kind of thing, which I can always do that on this podcast, of course, to still inspire, to still motivate, to still educate, I guess I put it that way as well, and to still give people some information, tools, and tips and strategies in order to move forward with their life in different situations, especially when it comes to relationships, the workplace, and things. Those is still relationships and the relationship with themselves as well. That's always been something that's important to me. Being who you are. I've been saying this since I was a kid because I saw many folks around me not being able to be who they are and faking the funk and all this type of stuff. That bothered me back then, back when I was in grade school. It still bothers me now. And like I said, this is something that I already have the vision for. I know that, like I said, I was writing it in here earlier in my journal. And just in case y'all want to know what this journal says, somebody gave me this. No, I didn't. No. I bought this from Family Dollar before I left St. Louis. But it says, "Be still and know that I am God." Psalms 46:10 is what that says. But like I said, definitely, I know I have to go back to the basics of what I was doing at first, because that's where not just happiness, but that's where my fulfillment was coming from. Yes, those things definitely made me happy. I can tell you that. Just going out to be free to go out and look at the, because I love graffiti and art and stuff like that. Just showing y'all what I see and that type of thing, and of course showing what I can make and create through my baking as well, through my speaking, because I know there's folks out there that need to hear my voice as well. God did not give me a loud voice, talking over everybody. Well, my teachers claim being disrespectful, whatever the case may be, in order for me to just sit here and not say nothing. I always have ideas. I always have things to share. I always have thoughts to come into my head like somebody needs to know this. I always have lessons that I've learned that I can teach somebody else. I know that. And like I said, I know that with all the things that I'm looking to do and on the path, not on the journey to do, like I said, I have to go back to what I created the coaching business for. Because I'm being too serious with stuff. Not just that, but a secondhand trauma from work. All the jobs I've had, everybody tell me their story about abuse and neglect and domestic violence and people dying and all types of things going on. For all the helping professionals, not just me as a social worker, teachers, therapists, whoever has to listen to somebody else's story. That's secondhand trauma. And it still traumatizes you as well. Because you sometimes, well, a lot of times, relive those things. You're hearing what they're saying. You're trying to get empathy. You're trying to figure out how to respond to them as well. But the hearing those things will definitely trigger some things that happened to you in the past. I know that already. I've been there, done that. And like I said, that's just something that I know that, like I said, not just me but others being too serious too with life and need some more playtime. I guess I put it that way. And like I said, I definitely just want to bring y'all this episode. And like I said again, make sure that y'all are subscribing here, of course, to YouTube and to the podcast, The Social Worker Coach, over on Spotify. Make sure that Spotify, Google Podcast is on several different platforms, but make sure that you're subscribing to that as well. The Social Worker Coach, the podcast, and of course here on YouTube, my name Tonetta Clay. I'm the only one that's on this platform to put that name. So like I said, type in my name and all my stuff will come up, I'm sure. But like I said, make sure that you're subscribing and sharing this out with somebody that needs to hear this. I'm sure not just you, but somebody else that needs to hear this. Because I know doggone well that I'm not the only one, and you're not the only one that's being too serious with things. And stressing yourself out, not forgiving yourself, and has burned out. And has stressed yourself out so much. Maybe having bad dreams too, I don't know. Waking up in the middle of the night feeling unfulfilled. You want to do something else, but you're not sure how you're going to get these things going and started. And going to the workplace every day is making you sick. Literally and figuratively. Because that's how I feel too. I know I have all this goodness inside me. I know what God gave me. But like I said, I have to make sure that I'm doing the right steps to get these things out into the community as well. Which I have been, of course. But like I said, definitely, it's been a journey. And like I said, I know me being too serious, I have to go back to my playful side and start incorporating some more creativity in the things that I'm, of course, doing on the podcast. And of course, you'll see her on YouTube as well. I'm pretty sure that. Because if not, like I said, I can't be the person my shirt says be free. If y'all can see this, it says be free. And like I said, I don't feel free when I'm not doing the things that I love and the things that fulfill me. I really don't. To an extent, I don't feel fulfilled. I guess I should put it that way. When I'm not doing the things that I love. Because freedom, of course, that comes when you, of course, start healing, that kind of thing. I feel free most days. I guess I put it that way. But my mind being caged with going to work. Working within their parameters for 8 hours a day. That's why I don't feel totally free. I never have when I go into the workplace. And like I said, I know I'm out there talking to myself with this. So like I said, definitely I would hope that y'all take some time to just think about these things and where this fits into your life, if it even does. Everybody may not feel the same way I feel. I'm sure some people don't. Some folks love their jobs. That's what they look forward to, and that's what they got. I have other ambitions, other things, and other imaginations and other creativities that I want to do. Always have. So I saw my dad going to work every single day whenever he was working. Back when I was a kid, wearing a suit and tie and having to act a certain way and all this. I'm asking him why he got to dress up to go to work. He just sitting at his desk just typing. There's no point in that. Like I said, my mind has been working like this since I was a kid. because I didn't see the point of those types of things. But that's what workplaces will have you do. I guess I put it that way. Not giving you the freedom to be who you are in the workplace. When nobody cares what you got on, all they care about is what you can provide them with, the resources and the services and the support. So, like I said, definitely, y'all, this is my journey on the way to my freedom. I guess I full freedom. I guess I put it that way. And on my way to pulling myself and getting myself back on track with lessening my stress and my level of burnout as well. Replacing that burnout with something else, I guess my creativity to help me heal that burnout. I guess I put it that way. Because that's what I'm doing. I guess I'd say that. And like I said, I know a lot of you out there are probably feeling the same way, wondering how in the world you can get past these things, sick and tired of the job, trying to figure out what else you can do. Like I said, make sure that you're following your girl, her, the social worker coach. That's what I'm here for. And like I said, through my story, through my journey, through my ups and downs, I will definitely be, I'm very open, honest, and transparent. You will definitely hear those things. And I've been talking about those things for years now. I'm not going to stop. So I know my voice in my story will help somebody else out there as well that's going through the similar thing. I already have been through the thing, but they stuck and have no idea how to get up out the thing and move forward. So like I said, definitely, I'm going to go ahead and stop here because I smell my spaghetti squash and they're cooking. I don't want it to burn all the way up. But like I said, definitely, y'all, make sure that you're following your girl, the social worker coach. The link that's, like I said, that's going to be in the description. Make sure that you check out that ebook called Where Are You? It's free to download. And it's going to help you figure out where you are in life so you can figure out, create you a path to move forward. And like I said, follow your girl, the social worker coach, which I have all my social media handles, information, how to connect with me on there as well. Make sure that you follow me. Because these are the things that I'm heading into and that you will get more of. This is what I was doing at first and I stopped. But like I said, I'm back on this track because I know how I need this too. I'm talking to y'all, but I'm talking to me too. So like I said, again, this is your girl Tonetta Clay, your social worker coach. Make sure that y'all are subscribing to the podcast, the social worker coach, on Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast at. Trust me, I'm on there. And then, of course, on YouTube, making sure that you're subscribing, of course, clicking the notification bell to get every time I upload. If you don't do it, I'm going to give you one of these. I'm just kidding. Y'all didn't see it on the podcast, but I gave my fist. I'm just joking. But like I said, definitely, y'all, I will talk to y'all later. Like I said, definitely. And make sure y'all check out that free ebook as well. And connect with me on other social medias too. Because I am going to create another, a private community too. I'm not sure how that's going to look yet, but I'll definitely make sure I keep y'all informed. When it's dropping, what's going on, all the type of thing. So again, y'all, take care. Make sure y'all subscribe. This is your girl, Tonetta Clay, the social worker coach. Signing off. Peace out. Love you all. Like I said, here to help you heal with your creativity. Take care, y'all, and have a good one.